welcome to Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind the Podcast. I am your host, Ian. This is the show in which we grind on the absolute worst horror and sci-fi movies we can find and make fun of just how bad they are, as well as praise the good, cool classics that have been lost throughout time. Now get ready, because we're about to dive real deep inside of Hollywood's dumpster in search of the good, the so bad it's good, and the fucking ugly. Now put on your seatbelt, grab a beer or two, and enjoy the show. Welcome to another special Grindhouse edition of Cold and Trash Horror Movie Grind. I'm Ian, and today, of course, we are doing Hobo With A Shotgun. We're like I was saying last week, we're in the second week of November, which of course I've been calling Grindvember. All month we'll be doing Grindhouse movies, new and old. So last week was Planet Terror. If you missed that, the Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse, and then they did the fake trailer for Hobo with Shotgun, which is now we're doing the actual film, which I love. It's my favorite, really. It's so good. And then next couple of weeks we'll do some actual real Grindhouse exploitation flicks, starting with Blackula. Love that one too. But yeah, let's jump into Hobo with a Shotgun. I got some friends here, of course. Let's bring them in. First one, Daniel. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, Ian?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Definitely a great time out here. Absolutely happy to be doing Hobo with a Shotgun. Good surprise for me. I'm one of the pinch hitters for it. And my first time seeing it would have been visiting you for my first time, our first meeting in person. That's one of the movies that we watched that you absolutely insisted on, and I understand why now.
Yeah, I did. Thanks for joining us such short notice. A couple of people weren't able to make it. This was actually after a reschedule too. This has just kind of been crazy. Still hoping Steven will join. He's just been blank. That's the guy who I watched the movie with for the first time ever. He was in last week's episode, and he's a no-show. But we got Daniel here. So as you were saying, you live in Florida. I live in Texas. You came to visit me around New Year's, and then I showed you this movie. What did you think of it?
It was a little bit of a slow burn for me.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I saw in the beginning looked like it was gonna be just typical newer era grindhouse sort of thing. I felt immediate Kill Bill vibes. I felt just a little bit of a pace where it was going to be like, oh, okay, they're just going to do this, and then they're going to do this, and then they're going to do this. And they did a lot of very tropey and stereotypical stuff, but they made it their own very, very quickly in the movie. And there's a lot that's endearing about it to me by the time that I was done watching it. So.
Okay. Overall thoughts, though.
I liked it. I like the color. I did like the gore factor. I like the carry out of the characters. We do the typical grindhouse thing of your character needs one motivation, and that's it. It will not be a complex character. Absolutely every single character will have one motivation and go after it until they are either dead or the movie is over. So I like that a lot in a grindhouse film. I want it to be simple. I want it to be exceptional, way over the top on everything. And I think that this did both of those. It was simple and over the top. So
yeah, very, very, very much over the top, almost cartoony in a way, which I love. It's like a live action cartoon that's just very gory and cool. Thanks for joining, especially at such late minute. We also have from I Don't Give a Flick podcast, Jonny Blackburn.
What's up? Last late minute, Ian. What's going on?
Yeah, words. You know me. Words.
What's up? Always West.
On?
I'm the. I guess it's going to be an interesting show today. I was the first one on outside of you, and that never happens. I'm always the last one, and I'm the only guest that wasn't asked last minute today. So
that's true. We got another last minute coming right up.
I'm in good company though. I'm in good company. This is gonna be fun. This is one of my all-time favorite fucking exploitation movies in general. Honestly,
I was wondering about that.
Were you?
Yeah. I know you've seen it, but yeah. What was your introduction to this one?
So this is one that I had seen the trailer for it on the for Planet Terror and what was Tarantino's one? I forget. I'm sorry.
Death Proof.
Thank you. So I saw that trailer then, and it looked pretty good. And then a couple friends had just recommended it. So a couple years ago, Gary and I we had just started getting into movies so bad they were good. And Hobo with a Shotgun was on all the lists. And I was like, you know what? It's been years since this came out. I can't believe I haven't seen it yet. And it did not disappoint. Daniel, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised that you said it was a slow burn on that because I thought for me, it jumped right into it. Punched me in the face. Yeah,
it does. It does. But the way it hits the tropes in the beginning, I'm like, oh, it's just another one of these. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, my expectations are very low then.
Okay.
But then it kept doing things like, okay, I got this. Okay, I got this. Okay, I got this. So now I'm impressed.
Okay, the storyline in general, the storyline was what was the slow burn for you? Okay, all right. I was like, the action started like right at the beginning.
Oh yeah, no, the action was there, but it was so tropey. It was just like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll just watch another one of these, and that's fine. Yeah. But it didn't. The endearing part of it was a slow burn for me. Like it just started off like, okay, I can watch another movie.
I mean, it's good that you found a positive note in it. Yeah, there's always the silver lining for sure. Yeah, but I mean, I watched it with Gary for the first time a couple years ago. Who, for those that know, this is my co-host on my show, and my domestic partner of 9 years. Apparently by law, we don't sleep in the same room, obviously, but we are domestic partners. Apparently by Texas law, that's what he tells me that every year on our anniversary, and I'm like, okay, love you too, big guy.
Anniversary.
Yeah, we have fun. It is cute. We're a cute couple,
He's still not been on the show. How come he won't join the show?
It's not that. It's that, dude, his work schedule. Being on my show, it is crazy to get us to start on time because his work schedule and Neil's, it's really difficult. They both just have, they have jobs that require them to work 60-hour weeks all the time. And they work nights a lot and their schedules change every month. And so it's just hard. Yeah. But this film, this is one of my favorite exploitation movies, as I was saying. Honestly, the only hobo exploitation one I can think of. I'm sure there's a couple other like.
Yeah, I'll get into it. There
and
are
you will, I'm sure. Yeah. But I've always loved it. I mean, I love retro films that are intentionally doing it. You come in and you've got the Technicolor or Technivision, excuse me. And adding that in it takes you back, and it like reminds me of watching like the reruns of like Bonanza as a kid, or reruns of like old like musicals and stuff that my grandparents would put on that they threw the Technicolor in, and I just love it. It's a good feel. It's a sense of nostalgia for me, because I just kind of grew up on that stuff in the 90s. So. Yeah.
Sweet. And you were speaking about your podcast, I Don't Give a Fuck, which we talk about a lot. It's a lot of fun. I'm in a bunch of episodes. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you're in it tonight. Daniel, we got to get you on one of these days, man. I keep forgetting. We've had Tony, Bree.
I think that's it.
I think that's it, actually, from your show. Yeah, we tried to have.
Well, I feel left out now. It's everybody else.
Hey, we haven't had Sloan on yet. We haven't had we didn't have Seth on yet either.
Yeah, Seth definitely wants to join us.
Yeah, I know. He's talked to me about that. I definitely want to get him on.
Anyway, I was on an episode last month. And by last month, I mean a couple days ago. By the time we're recording this, it was a couple of days ago. But those watching us right now live, it's I think it's. Let me look at my calendar. This is November 9th today.
When this is dropping? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I gotta throw my pumpkins, man.
Last month was...
You're out of date, Daniel.
I was on your show, and we talked about a bunch of Halloween films, and that was a lot of fun. I always love coming on your show, and we talk about Halloween horror stuff, and I bring the cult stuff.
That's my favorite.
That like obscure films nobody's heard of. But you had a guest who knew a lot of all these cult films and stuff. And like I
lucky
said,
to meet her.
We had a couple people who couldn't make it today, so you hit her up and you were like, "Hey, you want to join Ian's show?" And she was like, "Fuck yeah!" And so that was like 30 minutes ago, and here she is, Jackie.
Hi,
Jackie.
Yeah, thanks for coming. It's such short notice.
Yeah, dude. Of course. I mean, I had to refresh a little bit because it's been a minute, but Jonny was like, "Oh, if you need to refresh, it's on Hulu," and I was like,
"Yeah, that's crazy. It's on Hulu
in my movie collection."
Yeah, and then I was like, "Look who I'm talking to. My bad." I was like, "I can't believe I made that mistake. It's fucking." Of course you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. That's short notice.
Yeah, of course, dude. I mean, if I don't know all the details, I'm here on the last minute, and I literally just had the credits come up while watching it. So
perfect,
nice.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yeah, so on that episode on Jonny's podcast, yeah, you were just spitting out all these cult hits like Society and Mandy.
Yeah, that one, I hadn't even heard of that one in like 12 years. I was like, I forgot that was a movie.
I had to pull it out.
Been a while.
I had to pull it out. It was just, it was. I was telling Jonny earlier, my cousin listened to the podcast earlier, and she was sitting there telling me like, "Oh, I would have picked out this, I would have picked out that," and I was like, I agree with you, everything that you said, but I wanted to pull out some things that would take people by storm,
shock some folks.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was good. Like I was like, oh shit, I haven't thought about that in a while. Then you said Mandy, and then I just like kind of had a seizure.
Now you can be friends.
Oh, I'll talk
That's
about
right. Melded minds. The melding of minds. Yeah.
But what was your introduction to Hobo with a Shotgun?
That's a really good question. I think it's the same for all of us with the Grindhouse thing, and I really thought that it was an actual movie, and I looked for it forever.
Oh, when the fake trailer came out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so I just kept looking for it, and then finally it was out, and I was like, okay, awesome. And it's really funny because a couple months ago, my boyfriend and I went to the dollar store, and they had DVDs for sale of Hobo with a Shotgun, and we bought a bunch of them, and we just give them to our friends as presents.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh,
nice.
That's a great present.
That is a great present.
There. I like that. Yeah.
Like, even if we don't even know if they like shit like that, we're just like, here you go.
Oh, that's different. That's an ambush right there. Like, so if you want to stay friends with me, there's something you should know.
Exactly.
Here's Hobo with a Shotgun. Good luck.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, for me, I saw the fake trailer and I actually forgot about it. And then I heard when it first came out, like I heard little ads here and there. Surprisingly, on the radio. Like on the radio, they were giving out a contest. Like, we'll give you a free copy of Hobo with a Shotgun. And I was like, oh, well, that sounds awesome. And then I looked into it. I was like, well, I'm just gonna buy this movie without knowing anything about it, and I did. And then a friend of mine came over to my house just to drink and smoke and shit. And I was like, dude, look at what came in the mail today, because I ordered it, and it was Hobo with a Shotgun. And he was like, okay, well, let's watch it. And that guy is actually here right now. Too dark
Oh,
Hey.
showed up.
What's up, man?
How's it going? How's it going?
Pretty good. Awesome. So
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, that was
like I said, you joined me for the first time. We both discovered it together.
that was my intro. It was amazing. I remember drinking fucking Four Locos back when they were like,
God.
and
Don't
watching
make me hurl, dog.
and watching Hobo with the Shotgun.
Oh.
That shit was. I remember not wanting to watch it either. I was like, I do not want to watch this movie.
Was it
It
because
just
of the
looks
Four
like just-
Locos or just in general?
I mean, I was like, Hobo with the Shotgun does not seem up my alley. I think not only is that my favorite movie, that changed the way I look at movies forever, dude. Forever.
Yeah. How so?
Oh man, just like how colorful a movie can be, right? The movie's so vivid and just such beautiful colors, but like it's like that dichotomy or juxtaposition of the gore with it too. I say dichotomy because of how like the reds like shoot out at you and when the blood, you know what I mean? They're very
much so.
deep red. They're not dark. It's beautiful. The whole movie's gorgeous. And then also it's super fucking heartfelt. Like the message at its core is like surprisingly heartfelt, dude. Like
it's just like when he gets with Abby and he's just like talking about bears and you hear the piano it's like dee, dee, dee.
I love that. That monologue right there is my favorite monologue of all time.
But the thing is, he's talking about some violent shit. He's like, if a bear, like, you don't want to get near a bear because
they have a circle.
Entire face off. And
they have imaginary
your
circle.
eyes and your mouth, and then you'll die. And you're just like, oh, this is so sweet. But actually, interesting thing there. I guess we'll just jump into it at this point. So he says once a bear develops a taste of human flesh, it becomes a man killer.
Yeah.
Which at that point is a very important part in this film because the next scene he wants to buy the lawnmower and he has nowhere else to go, so he goes to the bum fights guy and chews glass for $20, and then he starts like kind of bleeding out of his mouth, and that's when he gets the taste for human blood, and from that point on he becomes the man killer.
But I mean, you also skipped over a shit ton of awesome shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's just a good point.
like just the guy from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Him being on it, and then him trying to go through trying not to get killed, and then being like, but you're my favorite nephews. And then he gets killed, and then there's a girl that is basically at a war concert. And
it's all just bizarre craziness. Well, we'll get into everything.
Okay.
It's not all at the time that it comes because that's how I don't do this podcast.
Okay.
But
depends on the episode, but okay.
Most episodes I don't go from beginning to end. If we want to, we can start at the end and work our way towards the beginning.
Keep going.
Like Q Dark was saying, the colors are really intense, and that's actually a very grindhousey thing. Like if you watch the old 70s exploitation flicks, midnight movies, there's a lot of really intense colors. Two I could think of specifically right now off the head is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Really intense colors and like real bright reds, real bright greens. Then also Suspiria, also really intense bright red colors, and like it's just so fun to watch.
Well, it also gave me Panos forgive me if I yes, thank you.
It's the Eye of Sauron. Oh god.
Is that what you mean?
Yep, that's exactly right. I was like, oh, I kind of want to keep watching that.
Right.
Go back.
No, but it really does give you a lot of those reds and yellows and oranges, and I really enjoy that, even though it was before that. But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I when I first saw Mandy, it reminded me so much of Hobo with Shotgun in so many ways.
Yeah.
So and yeah, so that's the thing. That's kind of why I'm doing this Grindvember thing, is that after the Tarantino Grindhouse and Robert Rodriguez Grindhouse, and then Hobo with the Shotgun, like these, I mean, they came out a couple years apart, but they really set like a new bar for underground films to bring back the classic gritty but colorful exploitation flicks, the Grindhouse movies. And so I think Mandy is kind of like, I don't know if Mandy would have even come out if it wasn't for Hobo with a Shotgun. I think that it's very inspired by it.
That's something that I would like to look into.
Yeah, Hobo with a Shotgun crawled so Mandy could run.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think
I like you.
I think Hobo with a Shotgun ran, so Mandy can try to catch up. But I mean, they're both really intense. And then yeah, Mandy has all the blood, all the gore, all the colors, like you were saying. And then also Mandy has the demonic bikers from hell that were also in Hobo with a Shotgun, which I said on our Mandy episode. Like, I feel like they're very similar. So like when I saw
100,
Mandy,
I really think that they're connected to the plague. I really think.
Coincidence? I think not.
I really think that you need to redo it so I can be on it.
I might. I don't know.
You've been called out, Ian.
I'll do a Mandy part 2, maybe, because that is just such a fun movie.
I just watched it again yesterday.
Nice.
Tell me about the killing of the starlings.
It's still like, even watching, I've seen that movie probably 14 times, and every time she tells that story, I'm like, oh!
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Mandy. I mean, I can if you want to, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a very similar film that kind of came out after this post like a neo Grindhouse thing that was pretty much started. Not only the Planet Terror and stuff, but Hobo with a Shotgun really did that. And then after Hobo with a Shotgun came out, that you got Nude Nuns with Big Guns, which is another one.
Yeah.
And then you have the Astron 6 films like Father's Day, and especially The Editor, which, if y'all haven't seen it, The Editor is it's a tribute to like the old giallo films from the 70s, like Suspiria and all those Italian murder mystery thrillers that basically Halloween is a ripoff of. That's right, I said it. But anyway, yeah, Hobo with a Shotgun. So Daniel, you saw this for the first time last year at my house. I guess so. You weren't really sure what to expect, and then so like what were your thoughts like? So it starts out slow, like you were saying. He gets off the train, and then you see the Ricky from Trailer Park Boys with the thing over his head, and then it just gets like insane. Like, what were your thoughts at that moment?
My thoughts at that point were not coming from a place of love. So I had seen the Rodriguez and Tarantino movies that led up to this. And I wasn't sure if it was just gonna be another one of that same movie, because both Tarantino and Rodriguez make movies like Hobo with a Shotgun, and they do the same thing in a lot of them. And that doesn't mean that they're bad, but I just saw a lot of that same influence coming up again. And I thought that it was not going to be original. I thought that it wasn't going to be anything more than something that was fun to watch and maybe not think at all during. I was rewarded eventually as they decided to bring in some different plot lines than what we have in other ones. And I really do appreciate the sweet points that our hobo brings up when he's trying to be his big papa bear to our hooker. And I thought that he did a really great job with keeping his mind all the time on his goal. All he wanted to do, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to eat glass. He didn't want to lay
He had
hits.
to, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want any of that. He just wanted to earn an honest living. And this is so incredibly Grindhouse and also hobo exploitation, I think. Because
that's right. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
I'm going to bring hobo exploitation back to a different level that I don't know if you're going for on this one, but I like to think of it going back to things like Of Mice and Men, or of any of the old like Huckleberry Finn sort of things. Like nobody's trying to do that much. So if you exploit that, you've basically got Hobo with a Shotgun. All you have to do is add a whole lot of murder into it, like more murder than already is in some of those films, but like or books. But you're going back to a basic sort of root system. And what they do is they throw a version of like the Italian mob in there, and they've basically got their perfect mix. They've got anything that you might see from like Death Race 2000 or even the original Death Race. The whole exploitation genre, again, going back to Planet Terror or anything like that, and you just throw it together into something with that real simple kind of roots. I just want to go and get my lawnmower and make an honest living. That's all I want by the time I'm done with this. And he has to murder everybody to do it. There's no real need for it, and that's where an exploitation comes for me. So
also on the point that everyone's trying to murder him while he's trying to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, is it become a good guy?
Murder exploitation.
Exploitation.
They're real. Yeah, I do have to jump in here to say like everything that inspired this movie, which is a lot of things. So that was a really good point with like Of Mice and Men and Huckleberry Finn. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, they're like, I guess that's kind of the original bum exploitation kind of thing.
I mean, throw the murder in there, and it's basically the same sort of story. Like, meet some unsavory characters, and you gotta befriend them, and they're maybe a little different than you, and you bring your wisdom by, and all of it. Like, it's got some real interesting roots to it, I think, and I like how it came out by the end.
That's really interesting because Of Mice and Men, like they just go into a new town and they just want to work and they just want to just make an honest living. But a bunch of assholes have to fuck that up for them.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Encino Man.
Go on.
Please. Go on.
Hot take number 2.
See, like the brothers and everything are like the high school kids and everything. And I like literally while you were talking, Daniel, it just brought me back to Encino Man. Like, just people being assholes for the sake of being assholes and taking the fucking guy. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just thought
Cro-Magnon exploitation.
Yeah.
No, I'd say that's pretty on. I mean, in the high school, it was dog eat dog. It was the wild, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what, and they brought Fraser through, and they made it out in the end, but not without some scars. So no, I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, nice.
I was like, am I going to sound stupid by saying this?
I got what you're saying.
Yeah, nice. Another thing. I guess we didn't all think about. Now, if you want to go into the real like gritty grindhouse, bomb exploitation, I definitely one definitely comes to mind, which. Shit, I don't remember what it's called. I'm so bad with names.
The suspense was built up, man.
I know, man. I'm terrible.
Where are your notes, Ian? You write them down.
Daniel's ready, baby.
I did an
he only got
entire
noticed
episode
about this an hour ago.
podcast.
What's your excuse?
Anyway, but however, definitely a bunch of older films, but I will say this: it kind of brings me back to the Sergio Leone, like, for a few dollars or a fistful of dollars. But pretty much the entire trilogy is like you got this guy, loner drifter. He comes into a town looking for something like a new life or whatever, or just whatever the next opportunity, and then it's just the entire town is just completely taken over by gangs and violence, and he just cleans up. And there's a whole bunch of movies just like that. I'm
trying to think of one. Blood Debts. Blood Debts is just like that. Have you guys seen Blood Debts?
No.
Oh, dude, that's a good one. Well, I'll send that to you, Ian. That's a perfect 80s B movie. Oh, it's so great.
Okay, cool. And then does anybody else have anything that this reminds you of?
No, man, dude. For me, it's honestly one of the most original movies I've ever seen. Honestly, I guess it remixes a lot of genres, but even stories. Like you can take the archetypes and replace them, but like a homeless lunatic meeting up with a fucking prostitute and changing the way a whole city thinks by cleaning it any way he has. Like, dude,
a couple times too.
Yeah, I'm there with you as well. Like, I feel like, even rewatching it, I felt like it's been done, but it's so original at the same time.
It's very creative.
Because,
it really is like the story really is a fistful of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Characters and setting are just completely swapped out, and it's just new and refreshing because they chose some really extremes for each location and character.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And of course, Fistful of Dollars is a Grindhouse film too. It's a spaghetti western.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking of specifically is Last Man Standing. So
we did that.
The same one.
I did that on my old podcast.
I know we're talking about the same movie still because I've watched so many different versions of it, but it is the same movie.
And just like Last Man Standing, he's got unlimited ammo in his gun.
Yeah.
I forgot, dude.
Only has to reload 2 times the entire film or whatever.
I'm so in the movie, so much in the movie that I never noticed. I never noticed that.
I only can think of one part, which is when he goes back to the bum fights guy. They're like,
his shot starts in his mouth and
loading, and then he steps back, and you see the guy who's shot.
Yeah.
Now, the bumsploitation flick that I was talking about earlier that I forgot the name of, that is called Street Trash, which they actually say Street Trash. They call him Street Trash in this movie, so I wonder if that's a reference. But what's fun about that movie is so super gritty, like this one. It's just like it's just a bunch of hobos living in like New York or something. And it's just they're so incredibly dirty, and they're just drinking like the cheapest hooch. And so, the one liquor store, he finds some old hooch that's 100 years old, and he decides to sell it for $1. And it's so disgusting and cheap and old that it makes them melt and explode.
Oh my god!
But that's
I love that movie so much. It's so good.
It's a good movie.
It's so yeah.
I can't even think of it right now either. It's
Street Trash.
Yeah. So good. Love that movie. The best. It's so disgusting.
Yeah, I wish I had a clip of it. And then if you watch that movie, you're like, yeah, this is Hobo with a Shotgun. Yeah,
You know, I never put that together, but I'm actually really happy that you would put that together for me because I'm like, yes.
Because if you take the scene from Hobo with a Shotgun where the cop is like, he's fucking with Abby and he won't leave her alone. He's about to pretty much assault her, and then the hobo comes and blows his head off and keeps shooting him. Yeah. And then you see all the people running to try to kill him, so they hide in the grocery cart and put the dead body over him. And then they get back to her house, and then they're both just covered in blood and shit. That's street trash, 100%.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So that reminds me of another point. I'm going to bring this up. So all the people living in the city, somebody said that the hobo changed their way of life. Daniel, was that you or somebody?
No, I don't think so.
Wait, what was it?
Where like the hobo, he like changes the way of life of everybody living there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like first, everybody's just like they're just living in the city. It's all, it's like whatever. That they're like, this sucks, but what can we do? And then a hobo comes, and then he just he kills a molester Santa. He just like kills the bum fights.
The hobo started with the man in the mirror, dude.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man in the mirror?
Like the man in the mirror. He's the change you wanted to see.
He himself.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. But yeah, and so
it's a Michael Jackson reference.
Kind of inspired the city. They're like, yeah, this is good. Parents smile as body's pile. Yeah.
Parents smile as body's pile.
Well, and the fact that he says, "I hate Christmas."
Get him, Christmas exploitation.
I love Christmas exploitation.
I do too, actually. Christmas exploitation.
Actually, we will do that. Is another movie I want to cover.
Can we do Krampus at some point?
Time. Well, I'm doing what's it called? Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Yes. All right.
And if you don't know what that is, here's a clip.
Garbage Day. Huh? No.
Damn, some slick shooting.
You know what I love about
Very
that?
Christmassy.
Yeah,
I love.
Definitely reminds me of Christmas.
Oh, I mean,
I
shoot my neighbors during
that's like one of the
holidays more.
That's one of the first movies where you have a killer Santa Claus, which again is in Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah,
we're coming back.
But we don't know if he's a killer.
I'm sure he is.
Listen, everybody in that town is a killer. That's the one thing that I learned from this movie.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody's like kind of inspired by the hobo, and then the Drake and his sons they like scare everybody. We'll kill your children if you help him. And if you bring them to us, we'll give you all my broads and everything. So then everybody's doing that, and they say that they're scared, like they're just scared, but really those townsfolk had a lot of fun killing those homeless people.
Yeah, there's fireworks. They were celebrating.
They were having a ball. And
this is one of those turning points of the movie for me. You guys asked me a little bit earlier why it was slow burn for me, but that's where it took that exploitation to the next level. Is like, hey, so you guys, I'm gonna totally manipulate you into doing this, and they're gonna have fun with it. I like that. That's awesome. That's something that you normally in an exploitation movie you start with, that like everybody's terrible around you. Like maybe you're doing a reality game show and it's meant for you to root against the hero, but like in this one they all believed he was the hero, but then they actually had fun murdering people similar to him. Oh yeah, awesome. I loved it. It's as fucked up as it gets for something like that. Like, you shouldn't go that direction, and that's the direction they went. Is, oh yeah, I know, but kill the hero. That's awesome, and you like doing it. Man, that's
yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
I did like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they really broke some of the molds in this one, and that's why it endeared me slowly in this movie.
Yeah, and then Abby comes, like, they're about to kill her, and she's like, "What are you here to find out if I'm homeless so you can kill me?" And one guy's just like, "Yeah, are you?"
Yeah.
And then she gives her monologue, and then
yeah,
like,
second best monologue.
You're right, and then the townspeople just go up against the cops. Wow, they're really easily persuaded.
I mean, y'all are talking about monologues. My favorite thing about this entire movie is there is the absolute best one-liners out of I can't think of any better one-liners except for Freddy Krueger.
Beginning to end, there's so much.
Or Last Action Hero.
Yeah, Last Action Hero is some really great ones.
Or Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, Hobo with a Shotgun probably has the most. Like, it has so many from beginning to end.
Every other freaking word out of their mouths are one-liners that are just incredible. My hand can't move fast enough to write that shit down while I'm watching the movie.
Right.
These two are the princes of Fucktown.
It's my dick in your pussy. You're making my dick thirsty.
Yeah.
Let's fuck. Let's fuck. Dude, that one's such a good one. He looks at his brother and he goes, "Let's fuck."
So let's go around the panel, and each person will say some of their favorite lines. Jackie, we'll start with you since you brought it up. I mean, you already said a couple, but give us
you don't want me. You know, you make me want to cut my dick off and rub it on your titty.
I laughed so hard at that. That's probably my favorite one right there, to be honest.
Wait, no, yeah, that's my favorite one. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Jonny, how about you?
Honestly, I would probably have to say, you and me are going on a car ride to hell. You're gonna miss me. You're riding shotgun.
That's a perfect way to end it.
It is. Like, it is. I 100%.
The only way that would made it better if he would have said the title of the movie "Hobo with a Shotgun," but he does say that earlier.
He does. Okay. Yeah, he gets it. It's all maybe it all comes back around.
Yeah,
I guess that's a couple one-liners. I guess it's not.
Daniel, you haven't seen it in a while, but do you remember any?
Nope, I'm out.
All right, Too Dark. How about you?
Yeah, no, it would have to be "Welcome to Fucktown." These two are the princes of Fucktown.
I wrote that down as well.
That's my absolute. That's great.
I really enjoyed when life gives you razor blades. You make a baseball bat out of razor blades.
A great classic.
And he just picks up a baseball bat full of razor blades. And it just slices that guy. Which, of course, like, and then you have just this nonsense just going on in the background while you're just having this conversation. Just a bunch of just topless women just beating this guy who's tied.
They're so happy. They're so happy.
And they're just like, this is so fun. And but there's still so many more.
The whole entire movie is just one-liners.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash this blood off with your blood.
No.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
She's a teacher. Look at her. What is she? What does she look like to you? I don't know, dude. She's just a fuck too. She's a teacher. Boom, dude. Oh man.
You know I'm not a teacher, right?
Yeah, dude.
He just like assumed he's just so...
he's Looney Tunes, dude. He's not there, man. Ragnar Hauer nails it, dude.
Yeah,
he plays this
really
perfect, like,
job. Apparently, like when they were filming this, like he took this project seriously.
He did great.
Yeah, incredible.
Another quote. We gotta say this one. It's a beautiful day for a skate rape.
Yes.
Oh shit. I meant to bring that up.
It's like
what a terrible weapon of choice to kill somebody. Ice skates.
Oh, he did come back.
Skating blades, like I mean, if you make contact, it's gonna hurt, obviously. But I mean, walking around in those things, easily somebody could just kick you in the ankle and break it.
And before that, the newscaster is just like he's on the news, and they just throw the skate at him. It goes right through his chest, and he dies. And a little fun fact for y'all: that newscaster ended up becoming an announcer for hockey.
Did he?
Oh.
That's funny.
How about that?
Wait, is that in the movie? That I don't remember it?
No,
or is that actually
the actor?
Okay, wait, was he one beforehand, and that's why they chose to have the ice skate there on him? Like maybe that was his dream, or
don't know, but I don't think so.
Okay.
And then also one of my favorite quotes is "Go the fuck home, everybody, and don't forget to wash your dicks."
Watch your neck. Oh, he says watch your dicks.
Yeah.
Oh.
What did you think it was?
Necks.
Necks.
Because he took.
Yeah.
I love it when he has the gun in
Wash your necks.
I'm so glad
that
you've just learned a thing like, I thought that was very confusing before.
No, because he took his neck off. He took his head off.
I guess that does
sense.
make more sense than dicks.
I like the don't forget to wash your dick.
That wouldn't be in the spirit of this movie. There's so many one-liners that have nothing to do with the scene going on.
Yeah.
It's great. That's what makes
Mother Teresa is a saint.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that one starts off with like, I'll use that knife to cut welfare checks out of your body or your corpse, and he says, well, you better cut one for Mother Teresa while she's finger baiting you in hell.
I just want to say, while I don't remember any of these lines, couldn't recall any of the lines to the movie for this. These all bring back good smiles for awesome lines. I can see it.
Such lovely
in my
memories.
eyes. So, if anyone needs a recommendation to watch this movie, this is the segment for you. Like right here, just like that was like 21 liners. How can you put that many in a movie? You will remember them, even if you didn't remember them.
Yep. Jackie, you were trying to say something?
When he sticks his gun, I forget whose mouth it was in, but he sticks his gun in his mouth and he goes, "You're fucked." And then he blows his
that was the
off.
pimp. Yeah. So there's the whole montage of him just cleaning up the town.
Yeah.
So because earlier,
you're fucked.
when he comes into the town, he sees all the shit, and he sees a pimp with like a very young prostitute, and he's like, "Stop doing homework and make me some money." And so, and so later, when he gets a shotgun, he points it to the pimp's mouth. And he's like, "You're fucked."
Oh, that just makes me remember. You were talking about the when they were doing the newscast, and the guy says they're delivering justice one shell at a time.
Yes.
All the
or no, he's delivering justice one shell at a time.
All the news headliners were good too. So I said one earlier that was
Hobo wants change. I'm just like,
yes.
No.
Double entendre. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Too dark. I'll let you say it.
Okay, yeah. It's stops begging, starts demanding for change.
There you go. Yeah.
And then there's what I said earlier that was parents smile as bodies pile.
That's a good one.
And then there's the Santa Claus that's like kidnapping children. And he's like jerking off at a playground.
Dude, yes, I was going to talk about him. Why the fuck is Santa jerking off?
I'm going to come down all your chimneys tonight.
Yeah.
Great visual imagery right there.
That's disgusting.
Appreciate that.
And then the hobo comes up with a shotgun. He says, "Jerk on this, you child molested shit."
Shit licker.
I remember that. Okay, thanks, Ian. I appreciate that. I remember that now.
Yeah, it was like that's such a great payoff to like this just horribleness.
Yeah, dude. As soon as you see Scumtown, what is Scumtown supposed to be called? Like, what is it? What does it say underneath it?
Yeah, it's Hopetown.
Yeah, or something like that.
It's Hopetown, and somebody crossed it off, says Scumtown, and then later the sheriff says Fucktown.
Fucktown, yeah. These two are the princes of Fucktown.
Fucktown, though. That was very fun for me. Just this Fucktown. This place sucks.
And then lastly, you have what was it when all the cops are like all gearing up to go after the hobo, and then there's the one little like newbie cop. He's like, at least he's only killing the dirty cops. So then there's one guy. So we're all dirty cops. Now that guy, the we're all dirty cops guy, he was the original hobo in the original fake trailer. So yeah, so they brought him back, and he's actually the director's dad. That's who that guy is.
Well, be
okay.
So,
has the director done anything else?
A couple things,
yeah.
But mostly not really. He did like a segment on like VHS 2.
Oh, did he? Okay,
yeah, he did a segment on ABCs of Death.
Yeah. Okay. Which one? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure. The VH1, I think it was the Alien one.
Which
or
the
VHS?
Alien.
VH1.
VHS.
Did you just say VH1, dude?
No, you said MTV, bro. Come
on. But he did, however, produce Turbo Kid.
Okay.
That's the
one. It's Turbo Kid.
Johnny?
I've never heard of Turbo Kid. I don't know what that is.
It's another heartfelt one.
I think you would really dig it.
I'm with Johnny. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a 80s nostalgic kind of thing. It's kind of like Hobo with a Shotgun with the nostalgia factor, but it's like super retro 80s. And have you seen Kung Fury?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like Kung Fury.
Kung Fury.
But it takes itself a little more seriously.
Yeah, it's a lot more serious.
Is it a short? Like, is it a half hour?
It's like an hour and a half.
Michael Ironside does a great job as the villain, as usual.
Ironside's in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, he of course himself a great villain.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, it's gory, but it's just so incredibly 80s.
There's like superpowers in it and shit. You should check it out.
So Jackie, I'm gonna have to look it up. But Johnny, you should definitely watch it and then tell Jackie whether or not she should watch it.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, movie party.
Have to check it out, man. Yeah. It sounds fun.
I will probably do that on this show at some point. Definitely not during the Grindhouse stuff because it's definitely post Grindhouse, but it's definitely very retro.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
What were your thoughts on the Drake and the Princes of Fucktown?
Love the Drake.
Love the Drake. Everybody loves the Drake.
Is the guy with the little. He did this right in the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You have Ricky from Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, which one was Drake then?
He was the main villain.
Main villain.
Mercy ain't my style.
Sorry.
Yeah, the very very dramatic actor.
Oh, brother mine.
No,
dude,
I
loved
it. It was awesome to just see a villain going for it without trying to look smart. And
he was definitely dumb as shit for sure.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
it's super grindhousey. Like, you just got a guy like, I've got all the power. Like, do you know what to do with it? Absolutely not. Just fuck you up. I love that.
Scaring people. That's what he does. He just scares people, and he just has a lot of women.
Well, dude, that's why it reminded me of Encino Man.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean,
The Drake,
yeah, exactly. That's 100% why I
like of the bullies.
thought of it.
Yeah, and then he has the sons that are very bullyish with their like matching uniforms.
Dude, I am such a fan of the Drake and his kids. I did like great aesthetics, you know what I mean? Like they look like the Drake looks kind of like a old loser kind of, you know what I mean? But like
he's got the perfectly parted hair.
like he's like the like the evils of like overconfidence, you know what I mean? Like he just wants to be cool and wants to be popular and wants everyone to look at him and fear, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he is very cool.
Yeah,
and Slick and Ace, they're cool too. Like, but like
Ivan,
right? Ace and Ivan, or Ace and Ivan.
No, Slick and Ivan.
Slick and Ivan. Okay, so Slick is the one that's like
He's
real cool, right?
One. Yeah, he's the
he's the one who like gets it like his dad, like has all the tools and gets it.
He goes into that arcade and he like breaks that kid's arm and shoves a bunch of cocaine in his face. And
I don't know if it's cocaine. I think it's like movie drugs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not actual real cocaine. It's supposed to be cocaine. No,
I don't know, because like I mean, I've never seen anyone do cocaine and like they don't have pain anymore. You know what I mean? I think it's like slow-mo or something.
I agree with Too Dark on this. It's he's absolutely got movie drugs. This is the drug that you believe that cocaine was or heroin was, that you just like boom, movie magic, done. Now everybody's on drugs. What?
He
You're gonna murder your
has
parents?
A bag of
How
it,
dare
and
you?
he just like throws it at people.
Like when you see someone smoke pot and they start hallucinating and shit.
I got you.
Exactly.
Actually, Too Dark. That's perfect description of that.
But yeah, that's Slick, and then Ivan is his older brother, who's more animated, but he's also more like the loser. He's the son that Drake does not like.
Yeah. I'm the only son you got left.
Yeah, and you're really good with those quotes. Like you sound just like him,
dude. I've seen this movie so many times. Like when I heard you were doing this podcast, I was like, oh, I get to watch Hobo with a Shotgun again this year. Like
yeah. Before you joined, I was saying Daniel, who lives in Florida, he came to visit me on New Year's, and I showed him Hobo with a Shotgun. I was like, you haven't seen this? We're watching this right fucking now.
Yeah.
I will say something funny that before my boyfriend got home, I put it on just to refresh myself, and in order to be quiet and record this, I went upstairs. I just came downstairs, and he's watching it.
Yeah.
And he loves it so much. Like he should have been on this podcast because he loves it just as much as all of us do.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean it's such a delight. It's so gory and horrible, but it's such a delight.
And beautiful. Oh, like I'm telling you, like I guess there's no spoilers. Like we're anyway. When the city comes in like to help the hobo at the end. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they just like kind of cleanse everybody of all the evil people at once. And it's like a new start.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, because they kill the cops, like all the cops, except the dirty cops. So there's just one left.
No, I think even the good cop died. I think all the cops died.
Yeah. And then and then I love how everybody dies, and then you just hear Abby just screaming, just wailing, and it's so haunting. Like they like definitely casted the right girl for that, because her scream was just so haunting.
She's the scream queen for sure. She was so good.
Yeah,
so good in this movie. That's probably my favorite actor. I know Rutger Hauer did a great job, but damn, she was perfect for her role.
I literally have nothing bad to say about this movie.
There's nothing bad about it.
I just think it's so fucking good.
I
And Ian, you picked like such a good fucking movie to talk about.
I've been wanting, honestly, I've been wanting to do this movie for 3 podcasts now. I've been waiting so patiently and so long because my very first podcast, Maybe So Bad They're Good, I wanted to do it for like there's just so many movies. You can't just start with Hobo with a Shotgun. You have to work your way towards it. And then
I mean,
that
you
podcast,
do whatever you want to do. It's your podcast.
well, yeah, for sure. That's how I felt. And then that podcast ended, so I rebooted it under Movie So Bad They're Good, Midnight Cold Classics in Camp, in which I was working my way towards it. Then I got an offer to start this show by Infamous Horror. And then so I started over again, and I worked my way towards it for we're going on 11 months now, and I'm finally after. I mean, it's 3 years total, but I finally made it. So I'm glad, and
We're here.
yeah, and too, Doug, I'm so glad that the person who I watched this with for the first time is here with me to
dude.
talk about it, and
yeah.
And then I'm making new friends through this movie now too.
Yeah.
So the plague. Oh, wait, Daniel, what's up?
Oh, I have a question. I was gonna ask if I could do a Mad Lib with you guys real quick.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Sue.
Yeah. So I want you guys to come up with a movie. This is not going to be similar to how we normally do things. I want to do a Mad Lib movie, just the title, to make the best title possible. No explanation involved. I would like you to choose noun with a noun. No explanation necessary, but I'd just like to hear what you guys have in mind for your movie.
So, like, unrelated to this one?
No, I would like it to be an exploitation movie. So I'd like you guys to have an idea of taking something into the next level.
I get what you're
exploitation.
saying.
Yeah. Something innocuous and with something deadly.
Before any of you answer, there are other real life films that do exist that go by that same thing, such as Hooker with a Hacksaw.
Yep.
New Nuns with Big Guns.
Yep.
Those are only 2 I can really think of at the moment, but I'm sure there's more.
I'm not going to name any of those, but yes, I'd like you guys to do a Mad Lib for me if you could. Does anyone have one to start?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
One-armed teacher with a lawnmower.
That's
it's oddly specific, and I would probably still watch it. Yeah,
Daniel doesn't get it.
I don't know that one.
That's Abby at the end, because she, like, her hand gets cut off, but she has like the lawnmower thing that she was like attacking people with.
That's right.
And Abby's a teacher.
Yeah, or so
he's definitely a teacher.
Yeah.
Or so the hobo thing.
So a teacher.
So the hobo thing.
So Johnny, you just kind of walked in. So Daniel's asking us to come up with our own movie. It's blank with a blank.
Blank with a blank.
Hobo with a
Noun
shotgun,
with a noun.
Hooker with a hacksaw. New Nuns with big guns.
Yeah.
One-armed teacher with the lawnmower.
One-armed teacher with lawnmower, exactly.
That's pretty good. I like that.
I do like that. I'm sorry I missed the point. I haven't watched the movie in a bit.
Mortician with a grudge.
Okay. Okay.
That's cool.
I like it. I actually like that. That
sounds so cool.
That would be a really good giallo film.
It'd be interesting. I'd watch it. I mean, I don't know what the hell it would be about exactly, but probably Hobo with a Shotgun just in.
Let's make it, Johnny.
Parlor.
Let's make it.
Let's do it. Hey, we got the.
You added a drinking problem, and I'm in.
All right. That's right.
There you go.
Actor
with the drinking problem.
Oh no! It could go any direction.
It's a George Clooney documentary. It's about Mel Gibson.
It's a biopic, easily, yeah.
Jackie, can you think of anything?
I'm gonna say the hooker in the church.
All right.
Hooker with the
good?
church or in the church?
In the church.
Yes.
That would be
Another one I would watch.
a prequel to New Nuns with Big Guns.
I don't know. It's just
Watch all these.
it's what came to mind.
Nice. Okay, cool. Johnny, do you have something?
Do I have something?
Yeah.
I just gave you one. Mortician with a
Yeah.
grudge.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
What? And
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
track. Ian,
What
back to
were
you.
y'all's really quick? I'm just curious. I came in
Oh
back.
no, we just started.
Yeah, Too Dark
oh.
was one-armed hooker with
a long arm.
No, not hooker. She's a teacher.
Thank you. My mistake.
I don't take
That's
it.
what threw me off so bad.
I only take death.
That'd be so great if she just becomes a teacher.
Yeah, that's what I see. I know she does. I know she does.
A long form running narrative series with her as a teacher, and that's it. I would, yeah. I don't know if I watch that.
Teacher by day.
Out loud, I'm like,
With her bone hand.
Yeah, she puts chalk in it and writes on the board.
And then my. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we got our prompts for already done, but
Let's make it. Let's do it.
do it.
Let's go.
Now there is a real movie called Hooker with a Hacksaw, which I've seen the first like 20 minutes of. It's pretty rough, but I'd like to think it's in the same universe. Now, speaking of same universes, which we already said earlier, but I'm going to bring us back to it. The Plague. How awesome is The Plague?
Yes.
Yes. Like you're watching this movie for the first time, and you're like, how much more bizarre and insane and amazing can this get? And then the Drake summons the Plague, and then you just see them just like these completely armored demons in a castle, just like get on motorcycles and ride to the hospital and just murder everybody they see with like one guy has a sword, is just like cutting off everybody's like Achilles tendons and then and martial arts and shit, and then the other guy just has a noose gun and just fucking hangs everybody.
Like so tactical, like so fucking tactical. Like tendon noose, like.
And Daniel, I can see that you can't. You might be having trouble remembering this. Maybe this can jog your memory.
I am of you working, Jonny.
I would really like that to be my reaction if I was running a hospital and people in war gear and fucking great. Also, her reaction. There's people in war gear and just metal suits came in. Like, I'm tired of you junkies. Like,
And you just start
I'm
shooting them.
terrified.
Like, yeah, just first thought is just grab a gun and shoot them dead. And then this is just like, and then you got the music. So
Noose Gun makes me think so much of these guys being like part of the Inquisition. These look like Inquisitors to me.
You know, it's funny you say that because it's revealed earlier that they did kill Jesus and Joan of Arc.
I don't remember that.
It's pretty subtle.
Is it Ian's interpretation or is it a real thing?
No, there's a part where they're back at their lair, and then on the wall you see pictures of Jesus and Joan of Arc and like I think Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, but on the same standards, that would mean that they killed the hobo because they X'd out the hobo too, and the hobo. I mean, the hobo died, but they didn't kill the hobo.
No, yeah, like they didn't X him out like they did Jesus and Joan of Arc and Abraham Lincoln.
I thought they were
Just
Xing him out.
the incarnation.
I don't think so, but they did capture him, and then they bring him to the Drake show, of which we get yet another one-liner of "Unhand me, demons! You're crushing my smokes." Like that's his priority. He knows he's gonna get out of this.
He doesn't get out of it.
No, but that's true. But that's what he figures. He kind of does. He just gets out of it and he gets back into it immediately.
Check off demons. You're crushing my smokes.
Yeah. So you have these guys, and then you watch the movie Mandy, and you see very, very similar guys who are called upon in a kind of similar way. It's like, okay, we need your help, and then but what's cool about Mandy is those guys, like, you see that they have like acid, a bunch of like terrible acid that like
They
keeps them
feed
going.
on acid and blood.
Yeah, and cocaine. There's a lot of cocaine in that movie
A
too.
lot of cocaine. Yeah.
And then there's other movies. I like to think that Raising Arizona, there's the demonic biker in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to just go on a Nicolas Cage rant? Because I can
Ghost Rider? You're
go
about to say
for
Ghost
that all
Rider,
day.
right?
I can go on
Do
that
it.
all day.
Hey.
I was going to
Take it
say,
home.
if we got to bring it all the way back to the beginning of this podcast, I missed my chance on this one, but Nicolas Cage had an issue with color after all of this sort of movie came out. When we were talking about all the similarities that he was doing with Mandy and all this, color out of space.
Oh yeah,
He goes for color.
yeah, which is also by Spectrovision, by the way.
Yes, and you can see
And you get that from
Willy's Wonderland.
Spectrovision,
He has
yeah.
color. It's color.
Right.
And I think that this is the new. I don't
Prisoners
wanna
of
say
Ghostland had a lot of
Grindhouse.
color too.
I don't want to say Grindhouse, but I'm going to go with Gonzo, I guess, for this, because it's just like, it's going to be something to shock and surprise you. You should be ready for color. And I think it's how they're going to do it from now on for Nicolas Cage movies, because he even did that with Massive Talent, his newest movie that was an action movie, but he still went with color. I think that's a Nick Cage thing.
I think
he's
that's
just taking it and running with it.
that's a very popular thing these days.
And even that Ghostland movie or whatever it was.
Yeah, Prisoners of Ghostland. Now Mandy and Color Out of Space were both Spectrovision, like I said, and all the Spectrovision films are all very colorful as well.
Yeah.
And then one of the producers from Spectrovision did Prisoners of Ghostland. It's not a Spectrovision production.
Oh, that's a
but
great.
Yeah, I didn't know that, though. I didn't know they were
it's
even
one of the
associated.
same producers. Now, Willy's Wonderland is completely unrelated, but
I hate that movie.
I fucking love that
I hate you for hating that movie.
Get out of
It's
here.
absolutely gorgeous.
It's so funny.
My friend was like, "Dude, you don't like that movie?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, he said, "Didn't you realize that Nicolas Cage played an autistic man?" I was like, "What the fuck? No, he did not."
I've heard that before.
He did. I had a Nicolas Cage mask on while watching that movie, smiling so big while realizing that my favorite fucking actor didn't say a goddamn word throughout the entire thing. And I was just so happy about it.
No,
I do got to give credit for that. It was pretty good.
A fun fact about that right there, which I covered that movie with Bria several weeks ago, but I mentioned on that fun fact is that in the script he did have lines, but not
Really?
many. It was very few lines, and then Nick Cage
He just
read
didn't
it,
say them.
and he was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if we didn't say anything at all?" And then they just went with it.
Yes.
I agree with
Genius.
him. Genius!
Genius.
Another fun fact
because
about Willy's Wonderland is it fucking sucked.
Bullshit.
Oh shit. Okay,
I
I
wanna
didn't
fight
read that
you.
article anywhere.
You're the one and only person in the world who thinks that.
Wait, I thought someone agreed with me. No one agrees with me?
Nope.
Nobody.
Nah, no, dude. Sorry.
What? Willy's Wonderland sucks. Oh, man.
We're gonna have to bring you on your own podcast. You can have the Willy's
You
Wonderland.
know, the reason why is because this is
I'll
bad.
join
Because
you and I'll argue you. But
I was really hoping for a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and that's what I got. I didn't get a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I got Willy's fucking Wonderland. That's
your
why I'm
problem.
mad.
You had expectations that don't match the reality.
They canceled it, and we got Wendy's Wonderloo or whatever it's called.
Wendy's
Wonderloo.
Wonderloo.
You know what?
Wendy's
I'm,
Wonderloo.
I'm canceling you. We're done. We're not friends anymore.
It's fine. He doesn't even have a picture anyway. We can't actually believe that he's talking. It could be anybody back there.
We could be getting
Much
catfished
like
right
Willy's
now.
Wonderland. It's
Maybe
very
somebody
dark and we
kidnapped
can't
you,
tell who's
Dirk.
killing somebody.
Wait, you can't see me?
That's what happened.
Oh.
Somebody.
No.
No,
What?
hear
How about now?
Nope.
no. It's just
I
a
know.
dark. It's a dark square or rectangle.
Yeah, somebody kidnapped you, Dirk, and is just like just talking shit.
Has it been like that the whole time?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's only four
It's
people
fine, we
that
just
matter right
send
now anyway, because we're the ones that like Nick Cage.
Like Willy's Wonderland.
Here he is.
He can't speak.
There he is.
Did y'all gaslight me, or was I really not? Was I really not?
That's a good idea for the future.
To gaslight you, Dark
gaslighting
Knight.
one of our members? Count me out. I'm out.
Okay, so is there anything about Hobo with a Shotgun anybody would like to mention that we haven't talked about already?
That we haven't talked about.
Oh yes. The half DeLorean, half Corvette, dude.
Yeah. Right, okay.
Oh, gorgeous, dude. That is the dream car. Holy shit! I've never seen a more beautiful movie car. Cooler than what is it? Kip or Kit?
Kit.
Cooler than it. I don't even know another one. Cooler than all of them. The Mystery Machine. It's cooler than all of them, dude.
Yeah, and then they put Ricky's head on the front. Oh no, that was a truck.
That was a big ass truck.
Yeah, never mind. But yeah, that shows.
Did he say "buckle up, my favorite fucking uncle"?
Yeah, my favorite fucking uncle.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
I appreciated actually seeing Gregory Smith. He was a teen icon basically on the WB back in the early 2000s and mid 2000s. Believe me, don't ask how I know that. Okay, I'll tell you. My parents made me watch it, but he was on Everwood for like years and years, and he was this insane pop icon, like Jessica Biel level kind of. And just when I saw him in that, I was like, I couldn't shake him being like this classical pianist, and it took me probably like 30 minutes of seeing him in the movie to really accept that he was this role.
Who does he play in Hobo?
He's one of the princes of what a fuck
Is he
town.
slick?
He's not. He's the one who doesn't have the ice skates. He's the one who saws.
Yeah,
He's the one who dies.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
Gets his dick blown off.
Yeah.
Gets his dick blown off.
That's all
right.
of them
Yeah,
we haven't
that's him.
talked about. Yeah. Okay. I know
And he was
who
also
you're
in
talking about.
Small Soldiers. He was,
I didn't know about
kid.
that. I did know about Small Soldiers. Yeah.
That was him.
That was him.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
It was him, dog.
dude.
People forget. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh,
I watched it the first time. I was like,
Oh,
my
that's
God.
so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Go after this. Go and put on Small Soldiers and watch that.
Now I'm gonna go put on Hobo with the Shotgun. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's why that guy is so fucking familiar.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
wow. I'm freaking out.
I would like.
I'm
to
like
talk
somehow
about-
starstruck right now.
Right. What's that, Jackie?
I don't know anything about that, so I guess I'm too old for that. I don't know.
Small Soldiers or Everwood?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're not missing much on the Everwood landscape, so no worries there. It's a horrible show.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about it.
So, what were you about to say something, Jackie? Before that? Or was that it?
Well, I wanted to talk about the scene when one of the brothers walks in to the with all the kids, the school bus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he just goes, I they start cheering when they talk about the
Like,
hobo.
Yeah, it's like, do you
And
like
he goes, I
school?
hate hobos. And just sets them on fire.
Yeah. It goes, do you like school? Yeah. And homework? Yeah. You like ice cream? Yeah. And hobos? Yeah. I hate hobos.
Yeah.
And then his brother looking so stupid, holding the two fucking things, smiling with the sunglasses.
Yeah, so he just sets them on fire. And I've listened to a few other podcasts about this to like listen to this, and they took that scene so seriously. Like, I couldn't stand him setting the school bus of kids on fire. Like, that's where this movie lost me. Like, are you fucking kidding?
No, it's fucking I mean, yeah, nobody wants to see kids getting killed, but like that shit is hilarious. Like just the one-liners.
And
the fact
its
that
tone
they're
setting.
Like, we love hobos.
Yeah.
And then the audio joke where they play Disco Inferno while it happens.
Yeah, exactly. And then see, that's a cool thing when Hobo shoots Slick in the dick, and he's like, yet another one-liner. He's like, please don't shoot my dick off. I have too much fucking left to do. And then he does, and he just like, and then there's just a phone booth right there, so he just gets on the phone and is like, calls his dad, and he's like, hey, I'm dying. He shot my dick off. And it's like, hey, you were a rad father. And then the school bus that he burnt up shows up, and he gets in the bus, and he's in the back of it, and he just goes to hell in the burnt up school bus. Like, that is some goddamn good imagery.
Not as good as the imagery as when he's holding his filleted penis.
Don't remind me. Oof.
That's not imagery. That's
Hurts. It hurts.
showing you directly.
Yeah, that was quite literal.
Yeah,
right?
that happened.
No, it represented the fucking he was supposed to have left, crumbling in his hands.
All right, yeah, if you put it that way. But I love him in the back of the school bus, just like right now, and he's just like banging on the back window. That was so cool. All right, well, we're about 120, and so let's go ahead and move on to the prompt, which we already talked about earlier a bit, but we'll definitely get more into it. So, Jackie, since you do, the idea is every episode I ask everybody to pitch a prequel or a sequel or a remake, maybe a spinoff to this movie, anything that you want to see done. Like, if you can make a movie related to Hobo with a Shotgun, what would you do? And if anybody wants to jump in, or if Jackie, if you have an idea.
I mean, like I said earlier, all I got is a hooker in the church.
That
she just goes to
Be one.
church after that.
I'm gonna keep going with it because I live right across the street from a church, and
Are there hookers nearby too?
I'm
Yeah, I was
sorry.
like,
Is there a hooker in that church?
is this close to? Yeah.
Like
Church.
just
No
like
comment.
like Hobo with a Shotgun, but with the hooker, even though she's dead, but a different one, and that tries to fix the church because churches are wrong. I don't know. I didn't have enough
Churches
time
are
to
wrong.
prepare.
That should be the tagline.
Okay.
Churches are wrong.
That'd be great.
Churches are wrong.
Churches
mean-
are all
The
wrong.
what?
I'm
No,
not
that's
exactly a church person, so
No, that's cool.
You're in good company. Though.
And then Too Dark had a great one. Teacher, one handed a hooker with a.
Oh, is that
One-armed
teacher?
teacher.
One-handed teacher.
One armed.
Yeah, one-handed teacher with the lawnmower.
lawnmower.
Maybe a teacher with the. It's a TV series. It's a sitcom about a teacher and her lawn care business.
And then, yeah, they're both.
I'd probably watch it. Is it post Hobo with a Shotgun?
Post Hobo with
I
the
mean, it has to
Shotgun.
be, right? Because
Scum. They live in Hopetown now. They fixed up Hopetown. It's shot like
okay.
it's shot like Young Sheldon. You know.
Oh, okay. So we're going like full on like NBC sitcom type.
Yeah.
deal here. Okay.
And just completely ignore everything.
Or
That
would it
or
be CW? What? CW
No,
would be
we're-
a completely different.
No, because that.
we're talking Disney Plus, dog. We're talking Disney Plus. We're going like WandaVision with this, man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking of too. Is like something's off, but you don't know what it is, and it's probably because there was a whole lot of murders, but you don't see them.
Yeah.
So would there be like an antagonist or
There would be a school bully, and if you find out that she's the heir to the plague.
I'm in.
To the plague
I'm in
To the Black Plague?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the plague.
All right. Cool. Nice. I like it. Johnny, how about you?
Hey, you know how much I love origin stories, man. I would absolutely love to see the origin, honestly, an origin movie of the hobo. How did he get here? You know, yeah.
Damn
exactly.
you, Johnny.
Yeah. I always steal somebody's. Never let me go first. No, yeah, man. I'd want to. I'd like to see a film, with him as like a young man. I don't know. Did he become what? Is he ex-military for all we freaking know? He
was
seemed
in Nam.
he was wielding that shotgun
He
for
was
a
in
guy who was
Nam.
basically 70. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but was he special ops too, kind of thing? But he was wielding that shotgun for a 70-year-old with a lot of ease. So I would like to see kind of what happened to him in his past. How did he become homeless?
Who would play him? Who would play?
I was thinking about that. If it was about 15 years ago, I was going to say Mickey Rourke. But it's
No,
old now.
not.
Ryan Gosling.
No,
Dude.
I'm thinking
no.
he goes homeless when he's like mid 40s to early 50s. So Rourke 15 years ago would have been perfect for that. No, I mean if it was something like in Nam, yeah. God, a younger guy? No, Ryan Gosling, I would definitely. He's not gruff enough.
No, exactly.
No,
that's
I
true.
agree with that.
No.
George Clooney?
Not a good looking guy. It has to be
No,
somebody
it
like
can't be a
mediocre
good looking guy.
Yeah, mediocre looking average Joe.
Jason Momoa.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. I'm down. I'm in, man. I'll fucking
Mediocre
produce it. Let's
looking
fucking
at
go.
best.
Let's go. That and,
Somehow,
church. Let's do it.
somehow he just like lost all of those muscles and dropped like a
As
foot.
the only
That's all
woman
it
on the
is.
podcast, y'all let me pick this out, okay? 'Cause I'm gonna have to pick out the mediocre but good looking man.
Okay, who you got?
Who you got?
Ryan Gosling.
You're gonna have to give me a minute.
All right. Sure.
Better be good.
Daniel, how about you? You'll
I
think about
hope
it.
to God
We'll go
that
back
it's
to you.
me, but I'm not mediocre or good looking. I'm lower than that. I would like to hope for is the same thing that Johnny has. I wanna see the origin story of our hero, but I actually want to see his downfall. I'd really like a story where he starts out pretty good, but he gets betrayed or something happens. Like I don't know, maybe how the plague comes into effect in the world and how it messes him up a little bit in his original story. And he just loses his ability to become productive in society. And he's got to go ahead and become the hobo with the shotgun eventually. But I want to hear how he goes from being how he starts to what he feels is his current goals. Because he's got very strong convictions and we don't know where they come from. I want to see his downfall of I have these strong convictions because I came from a place where I didn't have them before. So maybe he's not a good guy to start with, and he hurts people or aids in all of our he aids like in all the downfall of society just by trying to be a good guy, and he realizes eventually that he shouldn't kill and he has to make his turnaround. And we realize that there's something broken in him, so he gets the ability to make the turnaround without being like, no, I have to be holier than thou. Because he's not. And he's got this strong conviction, but it flips very quick in the movie.
Yeah. After all, you can't solve all the world's problems with a shotgun.
Not all of them.
I don't know about that.
A fair number.
No, that's
Just
another
kidding.
quote from
No,
the movie.
I
it is-
know.
It's accurate.
The problem with that quote is that he solves 99.9%
Every
all
problem.
Of them.
Yeah.
Like he's still got 0.1% of a problem, but he's ready for that one with very strong words and or possibly just by doing one of these onto somebody and crushing them to death without a shotgun.
it would be great to have a TV show where each episode he goes to a new town and solves all the problems with a shotgun.
Oh my god, Ian, that's the best one possible. Hobo Knows Best, where he just shows up. Can I change my answer already after having pitched it? Because
I got the answer
otherwise that needs to be yours.
for
Please help me out here, Ian. Do you
I got
have
the
an idea
answer for Young Hobo.
Oh, for the young hobo? Who is it?
All right, what you got?
Justin Long.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Does anyone know who that
I
is?
can see that. Justin Long?
You don't know
Yes.
who Justin Long
Do you not know who Justin Long is
No.
really? Oh, he was in Dodgeball. He was the young high school kid. He was in Tusk.
Accepted.
Tusk?
Accepted. Yeah, Tusk.
I've not watched any of these movies.
Lots of stuff. You ever see
Yeah.
Zach and Mary Make a Porno? Another Kevin Smith.
Yep.
Okay.
You haven't seen any of these, Dale?
I have seen Zack and Mary make a porno once.
He's
about
the
12 years ago.
he's the gay dude that makes a big scene at the prom.
He's the
Remember
main guy from
that-
Waiting.
Main guy from he was Ryan Reynolds' sidekick.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
he would be great at playing
Yeah.
early Hobo.
He's very versatile, man. Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Yeah.
That's kind of really left field, but like
I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Jason Schwartzman.
Jason Schwartzman. I don't know about that one.
They should get just like a regular guy, just some guy, and then just do the CGI de-aging of Rutger Hauer and put his face on the guy's face.
I like the idea of doing a CGI horrible implant for it just because it would make it a little more terrible and be a lot more fun.
Right. So
Could Josh Brolin do it? Is he too old?
No, he's too old.
Damn.
He would be good if it was.
Josh Brolin
him
would
much
be
younger.
good,
He would be
actually.
really good.
I mean, younger, yeah, I
younger,
agree.
yeah, for sure.
But
You could young
at
face
this
him, though.
point, no.
yeah,
I think he's
like
not too old to young face him.
yeah, that's a really good idea. I like Josh. That's my favorite
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, no, that's about
All right, so in the Mandy episode that we did, or Johnny, I did, not the rest of you, but okay, so I had an idea of. Sorry, I'm really distracted, Jackie. I think that there's a lot of feedback or like echo coming from your phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No ways.
Is there?
Testing. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Is it? Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, okay. So I have the idea of sequel called Abby, and we get Abby. So what happens at the end of Hobo with a Shotgun? She kills one of the guys from the plague, and then the other guy says she must take his place. So she kind of does. So after the events of Hobo with a Shotgun, she gets dragged down to hell, and she gets all this body armor like grafted to her, and then the devil's like, "You must work for me," and shit. So she's like a slave, pretty much. You could call her a knight in Satan's service, and not to be confused with Kiss, but. And then so she's working. She's like fulfilling shit that the plague did, and then she meets up with she has a new target whose name is Red, and she goes after Red, and it's Nicolas Cage, and it's Mandy. And so it's like she meets up with him, but somehow they talk, and then she ends up joining him, and then she helps him go to the depths of hell to like fight demons and shit and find Mandy, his love, and bring her out of hell. And so yeah, that's my idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I check all of these out. Honestly, they all sound entertaining as fuck.
With the risk of me turning my mic back on, Wow.
By the way,
Nice.
that echo is gone. So
Okay, good. I that okay. I am overwhelmed by that idea.
Right.
I'm gonna need a little bit to think about that because
Let it settle.
as I will state on every single podcast that I'm ever on, that Mandy is my favorite movie of all time. And
I tend to say that too.
Yeah, you two, both you guys. That is true.
Can we have a phone conversation about this? Like seriously, like I'm wow. That's I've got way too much ideas about that this podcast is not long enough in order to actually talk. And
It's only 2.5 hours long. We've used up most of it. So
check out us on the Patreon, the extra footage.
Okay.
Where Jackie and Ian break it down.
Right. Jackie, I would love to have you on other episodes. I mean, you seem to be very on par with the cult and trash horror movie.
Well, thank you. I would love to.
So yeah, and we'll finish this episode with rating it. So since this is your first episode, I was explaining to you before we started recording, but just so you know, if anybody new is listening, we've got 2 ratings: one on production, and then one overall enjoyment. Most of the movies I cover on the show have really low production and really high enjoyment. So it's definitely opposite. This one's a bit. This one has really good production quality for a very low budget
for
film.
$3 million. Yeah, pretty. I mean,
they really do what they were doing, and it's if you watch the original fake trailer on the Grindhouse thing, it's so much better than that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm surprised the director hasn't done more stuff because he's good. So I'll say production. Yeah, 9 out of 10 bone hands that have been chopped up in a what's it called a lawnmower.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As far as enjoyment goes, I'm just like I've seen this movie so many times. I just like every time I watch it, it's like I'm watching it for the first time again. Like I just absolutely love it. I've seen it so many times. I've introduced so many people in my Facebook group, Movie So Bad They're Good, Midnight Cult Classics in Camp. When we used to do watch parties, I used to do watch parties for it all the time. It was fun. So I'm definitely 10 out of 10 members of the Plague. So, yeah. So we'll move over to Daniel. What do you got?
I don't have anything that stunning for it. I appreciate it. It's a really good movie. I hold harsh values when I'm doing this particular scale because I feel that we have some very good ones and we have some very bad ones in here. I am going to give the enjoyment factor first instead of the production value because I feel like the enjoyment factor gets me a full 8.5 out of 10 ice skates to the chest. And I feel that's because it's not my favorite type of movie. And I feel like the production value is associated directly with that. And the enjoyment is still high. It's pretty good. It's not the first movie I've seen like this. It's not the first movie made in this century. Not even decade like this one. But the enjoyment factor is still there. It's really good. I appreciate that. Production value, I've got to give a little bit lower of a hit. I'm going to give it 7 lawnmowers that we can't afford because we just couldn't quite make it there out of 10. And I feel like the elements are there, but there's not a uniqueness. There's nothing unique about the production value of this movie. It is just running off of what people wanted when they saw the Grindhouse movies previously from Tarantino and Rodriguez. And it just does the same thing as them, and it does the same thing as what they wanted. And as much as I want that to be something groundbreaking or fun or neat to see, they just do it the same way.
I somewhat agree with the Grindhouse thing. I think that they actually kind of went a different direction with like the grit and the grain. But I get what you're saying, and yeah,
it hurts my feelings a little bit because I think that it had a lot of potential to go just one step farther. I think it could easily gotten 2 points in production and 1 in enjoyment more, but it still just hit that same. It still felt like a reinvent of the same thing that other people were reinventing a year or two.
But they did what everybody has always wanted to do, but never able to do.
Yeah, they did it. It didn't hit me the same way as maybe a couple other ones did as hard.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in future episodes.
I mean, that's fair. That's valid.
No story at its core is original anymore. Honestly,
No.
it's just the replacement of
Thank
location,
you.
setting, characters. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah,
We've
for sure.
been telling stories.
Have you seen Avatar?
What the hell is that? Avatar? It's original as shit.
Oh my god!
We're not doing a movie review for Avatar. Thank God.
I would jump on a movie review of Avatar, Ian, if you wanted to do that, because that's the cultiest movie I know.
Well, Johnny, how about you?
I mean, I'd have to. There's things on there I would agree with Daniel on. Definitely the production value was certainly much lower. You want to compare it to Grindhouse. Rodriguez isn't normally known for his production and costume. Production design maybe, but not his costumes necessarily. Tarantino is, though, with the exceptions of, maybe Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. Is normally pretty grandiose and regal looking. It's usually over the top. And this one, they kept it low key. I mean, it was a bum exploitation film, a shotgun exploitation, whatever exploitation you want to use. And they did it justice. Yeah, it is all of them in a blender. We talk about crossovers of subgenres on my show all the time, and it's accurate because it happens no matter what genre you go through. There's always more than one in every movie. There's not just a drama is not just a drama. There's always comedic elements. There's always suspenseful elements, horror, romance, whatever. Anyways, though, as far as production value, I'd probably give it an 8. 8 what is it? 8 skate rapes that went wrong. Skate rapes don't work, folks. Don't try it at home. It's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
This will hopefully be the last episode that we'll say that.
I hope so too. I mean, unless prostitute in a church comes out, or whore in a church, whatever. There might be a couple there if it's based in Minnesota. I don't know. I mean, the production level was lower quality because they only had a $3 million budget, but it was intentional. They did do this intentionally, and Daniel's right. There's nothing original about the costume, the set design, the color palette definitely impresses me. But we've been seeing Technicolor color palettes impress people for the last 6 years. They're always there. So not downgrading their accomplishments or anything. But I think it fit the style of the film, and I thought they still did it very well for such low quality. As far as the entertainment factor, this is going to have to be 10 more kills. I wish I could have seen the hobo commit. 10 out of 10. Right. This is one of the most entertaining movies I have ever seen in my entire life. I rewatched it today for it's probably the 8th or 9th time I guess I've seen it in the last 3 years. It's just one of those ones that it's same like Ian, you showed Daniel when he came down. This is one I show people who are interested in movies so bad they're good, exploitation kind of thing. So watched it with Gary. I showed my buddy Matt when he came in from Chicago. What
did Gary have to say about it?
Oh, Gary loved it. Oh, he absolutely loved it. Yeah, we were just laughing our asses off. It was so much fun. This is a movie you want to watch with a group of people. It's such an event. You want to play off the laughter and feed off the emotions from everybody else. I wish I could have seen it in theaters. That would have been dope.
I don't think it came out. I don't think it came to theaters.
I don't think it did. I was saying, I wish it would have come out to theaters. I would have liked to see. I would have liked to have seen it. Or maybe it was a limited release in major cities. I don't know. But I loved it, man. It's definitely it's not going to be like, one of my top 50 greatest films of all time, but as far as entertainment factor, it's definitely top 10 for sure. I mean, if you like gore and if you like schlocky as fuck films, this is one of them. This is, I mean, this is like the epitome of a schlock film, honestly, in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. It's schlock, but it's also like very like coordinated. Like they knew what they were doing. Like this is schlock made by.
But they didn't make it. But they also tried to cover it up to make it look like they didn't know what they were doing, which was even more impressive. I thought that was really
cool.
Cool.
It's like a Black Dynamite in that way.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that. Is that another blaxploitation one?
It's Black Dynamite is to blaxploitation that Hobo with a Shotgun is to like
it's to bumsploitation or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's brilliant. Now somebody who would say that this is top films of all time, Too Dark.
Hey everybody, it's me, Too Dark. I'm an alcoholic. No,
hello, Too Dark.
Yeah, I would do this. So I always thought this movie was super original. It almost hurts a little bit finding out a little bit that it's not the most original movie. But but also for me, this movie was super mind blowing, super door opening. I think before my favorite movie was Pulp Fiction, and I just I don't know, I learned a new aesthetic, like the Technicolor aesthetic, as performed by Hobo with a Shotgun, is done excellently. Not like because Spy Kids, the newest Spy Kids is also in Technicolor, and it didn't, it's not as artistic as Hobo with the Shotgun, and then even old Technicolor isn't as used as a aesthetic or texture like it is with Hobo with the Shotgun, and then not even color too. I think the story is very captivating. I think in a really weird way, you are drawn into Scumtown, and I swear I live in Scumtown every time I watch this fucking movie, dude. And I don't know if it's weird to go with enjoyment first, but I'm gonna have to go with enjoyment first and give it 10 half Corvettes, but then I'm gonna give it another 10 half DeLoreans for enjoyment. And then the production, I get it. It's almost like faux low budget. I have the budget to make it look low budget, but really they do have the budget there. And then they purposely went under. I would when they're putting on the fucking noose, the barbed wire noose on them, it looked like foam or something, or jelly. But even that being said, I think it was just, I don't know, super spectacular. I'm gonna have to give it 7 manhole for production, 7 manhole hangings out of 10.
Sweet. Okay, cool. And then lastly, our guest, who will definitely probably be coming back sooner or later, Jackie, what you got?
So I agree and disagree with every single one of you. I think that Daniel's not given it enough credit. I think
he definitely needs to rewatch it for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
I agree.
Fight me.
Catch me at crickets. Come on. Catch me at crickets, somebody.
But I think that it was a very beautiful film, and I love the fact that it wasn't original. It was everything that I wanted back from an 80s film, but with something. You
gotta see Turbo Kid then.
That I haven't seen, so remind me.
All right.
But it's just there's a lot of things that I really loved about it, and I love the cheesemo factor. And as we talked on I Don't Give a Flick, we were talking about I think I said that I miss one-liners, but it doesn't really translate into nowadays. And that's one thing that I really appreciated about Hobo with a Shotgun is that we didn't get some one-liners. We got all the one-liners.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I will give this movie I will give it 12 out of, or I will give it 86 out of 10 one-liner.
That seems
Shattering every
reasonable.
record we've ever had on this show. 86.
Yeah.
out of
You're
10.
welcome.
You
You're
just
welcome.
made it.
I like how I went back and forth trying to think of where I was going to put it. As far as, the cinematography, I will give it 10 out of 10. And as far as a movie, I'll give it 8.9 out of 10. Like, I just think this movie is...
Wait, 8.9 what?
Movie.
For production value.
Well, like, the movie. Yes, movie.
8.9 movie out of movie.
8.9
It's
movie
not that
out of
much
movie.
of a movie, but it's almost there. 8.9 movie out of movie.
No, like, it's, actual script and everything. Like, on the whole.
Okay.
Yeah, don't give me that. No, I just think this movie is a really incredible film, and it might be because I really like shit like this, but yeah, I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I use this movie to intro people into like real art. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
That's ironic in a way. It really is. But like I get it though. I understand. I was responding to Dark, by the way, and what he said. Now, if you like this movie, I definitely have to recommend a movie that I definitely plan to cover on this show, but not for a while. After I'm done with all the Grindhouse stuff, which is another like neo Grindhouse movie, but I didn't fit it into the month. It's called VFW. So much like Hobo with a Shotgun. It's basically a veteran with a shotgun. That's what this movie is. It's a bunch of like vets in a bar up against a bunch of like drug dealers and junkies, and it's just so much gore and so much just like it's just Hobo with a Shotgun too. That's basically what it is. So check out VFW. It's great. So that'll do it for this episode of Cold Trash Horror Movie Grind. Like I said on Jonny's podcast, I Don't Give a Flick. Last month we did a Halloween episode, and probably others since then. But since the time that we're recording this, it was a couple of days ago. Yeah, Jackie was on that. We nerded out. We definitely nerded out on Mandy, but a bunch of others.
The evolution of horror. So we literally combine almost a century of horror films and its developments.
That was good.
In 2.5 hours.
And I
could have talked for 2 more.
We could have gone
hours,
for another
but
2.
nobody would have want to hear it.
We definitely ran out of time.
We definitely ran out of time. Yeah, I was pushing us along at the end. I was like, guys, we got to finish. I can't do 2 parts of this.
It's my curse, guys. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No, we're talking about a whole nother podcast here. We're not.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, thanks to Dark, Daniel, Jonny, Jackie for joining. Jackie, I hear that you're in a bunch of like B movies and stuff.
No, just one.
Oh, okay, just one.
It's called Pickaxe, and it's on Amazon, and
of course,
watch it if you want to.
Depends if you
I don't care either way.
I don't care.
Depends if you consider reality TV to be B horror movies, because if you do, then you can catch Jackie and I on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You got horrible people, horrific situations. Oh God, talk about excitement.
Nice. Well, yeah. So check that out. And then next week we're continuing the Grindhouse with going old school with actual real Grindhouse movies, exploitation, and I'm going to move into a blaxploitation. There's not many horror blaxploitation films, but the ones that do exist, I'll be doing them. And the most famous one, of course, Blackula.
Nice.
And yeah, Blackula is so much fun. It's really fucked up. It's really offensive on many levels, but it's fun. Yeah, so check that out. And then after that, I'll be doing a Dolomite film, P.D. Wheatstraw's Devil's Son-in-Law. And then Werewolves on Wheels. And then I'll go into the Giallo films, which is old 70s Italian thriller, like horror mystery slashers. Anyway, so that'll be the end of this episode. And then if you're on the Patreon, check us out for 10 minutes extra footage, or probably longer. But yeah. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks everybody for watching. And I'll dig you now, or I'll plant you now and dig you later. All right, later.
Bye.